Hi everyone, welcome to another video of Nyonya cooking. So any of you who are fans of donuts, fans of sweet potatoes, let me introduce to you Kuih Keria. Now this is like donuts. It's made of sweet potatoes. It's really sweet, delicious, crunchy too. If you're fans of donuts, you're gonna love this recipe. If you're fans of sweet potatoes, do I have to say more? So let's check out the ingredients to create Kuih Keria. The main ingredient for Kuih Keria is of course the sweet potatoes. I have them, I've cut the skin off and here they are, just as smaller pieces. You can use the orange one or even the purple one as you like. And then over here I have some wheat flour, salt, also sugar and water. So let's begin with cooking. So over here I have a pot of boiling water. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to put the sweet potatoes into this pot of boiling water. And we are going to boil this until it's really soft. I've been boiling these sweet potatoes for about 10 to 15 minutes and it is now ready. I know it's ready because using a fork I can just poke through the sweet potato easily. The next step is to transfer the sweet potatoes into a plate. As I mentioned earlier, we are going to mash this up. So using a fork that I have here, all I'm going to do is that using the back part of it, I'm just going to press it down and this will help to mash the sweet potatoes up. So make sure you boil these sweet potatoes until they're really soft, because if they are not soft and when you try to mash it, it wouldn't come into a paste together, and that's really something that you want to avoid, or else your Kuih Keria will be really clumpy. You just want it to be really soft and nice as you bite into it, because the outside layer is going to be crispy. Sounds really good, right? So just mash this along. Okay, and at this point of time I'm just going to add a pinch of salt to this. Okay, just a bit. So keep mashing, ensuring that you don't miss any bit of it. Now once this is all mashed up, it's ready, we're going to add the wheat flour into it. And then add the rest. So after mixing them thoroughly, what we want to achieve is basically a dough. So you can just use your hand. And if you find the dough a little bit sticky, just add a bit of flour. Okay, once you can, you can shape into a dough. I'm just going to use a spoon. You can either separate it, cut it into unified shapes. And I've dusted my working area into this long dough and then bring it around so that we will create this donut ring. So once these little donuts are all shaped up, we are going to fry it. So over here I have the pan and it has oil, and I've already heated it up at medium heat. Make sure that it's really hot before you put the donuts in. And to ensure that it's really hot, you can see a bit of movement on the surface of the oil, or using a wooden chopstick, just put it in and you see bubbles coming up. We are going to put the donuts in. So very carefully. You need to fry these donuts until it floats up, and once it floats, it's good. Or else, another indication would be the color of the donut. So as you can see, this is very golden in color, it's yellowish, means it's really good. If you do not want to shape it into donuts, you can do it into little balls like this, like what I did over here. that our donuts are ready, the next thing to do is to create this coating, the sugar coating on the donuts. So here I'm using a wok. Pour the sugar in. So this is at medium heat and water, and we are just going to stir and ensure that the sugar mixture is diluted. The sugar is fully diluted in the water, and that this mixture thickens, and then we'll have the nice coating of the donut. Remember to not burn your sugar, and that's what you do not want to see, or else it will be really bad. So just keep stirring at medium heat. Allow it to dilute, allow the sugar to dilute. Now this sugar mixture will eventually bubble up, and that's what we want. The next thing to check out is the texture of this sugar mixture or this syrup. And if you see that it comes down slowly, and that means the syrup is really thick, and this is the consistency that we're looking for. So once the syrup is thick, we are going to switch the stove off. And now this is when we are going to put in the donuts. So these donuts have to be stirred carefully because you wouldn't want to spoil it, but at the same time you want to ensure that the sugar coats the donuts. Once the donuts were ready, I packed them up and brought it over to my friend's place, and guess what? None left. I only have one just for you, just to show you how it's like. So this is the piece that I left, and as you can see, it's fully coated with sugar. It's so good, can you imagine? Lovely. The only thing is that when I bite, all these sugar pieces start to fall down, but it's okay because there are still some stuck to it, so you still get this whole sugary taste. So good. So if you look inside here, you can see that the consistency is like really fluffy and thick. It's delicious. You get this whole sweet potato taste. And because there's no sugar in the flour, it's an amazing combination. You have the sugar on the outside, and then on the inside the sweet potato. Just delicious. So my friends approved it. You're gonna approve it to try out the recipe. Tell me if you like it or not. Send me photos of recipes you have tried. Remember to hashtag Nyonya Cooking. And as usual, happy cooking. It's okay if you do not have an electronic steamer, the good old wok will do the trick too. But what's very important is to use a piece of cloth to just go over the kuih bakul, because we do